Hey, Jay in Milpitas, California. Seymour Betta here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut transitions green lenses with Crizal Prevencia for your RayBan 2140, the original Wayfarer, color 901, the classic shiny black in the 50 eye size. So let's begin. I'm going to take everything out of the original packaging, if it will come out. Your Italian leather RayBan case, of course, your RayBan cleaning cloth, and junk mail with all the icons in there, of which yours is in here: the shooter, the outdoorsman, the Wayfarer. There it is. So I'm gonna put everything back in there. Let's take out the star of the show, the main attraction. It is the classic, the standard, the one that everyone knows, the original Wayfarer, model number 2140. Hopefully my camera can pick that up. RB 2140, color 901 in the 50 eye size. So let's go ahead and begin. I have already used a little bit of heat to remove your original glass lenses. You can tell by the sound, and I'm going to put lightweight unbreakable polycarb in yours. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to take your Italian frame, put it into my French Essilor tracing element of the edger, and hit start. Everybody wants to know, how does the computer know what shape lens to cut? This is why. That stylus goes around and traces the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Jay, you know you need some prescription, not very strong, but still, need a little bit. So that is the shape we'll be cutting tonight. Let me minify it down. That green outline is the shape of the lens, reverse, so that'll be the right lens. Let's go ahead and magnify it while we work on it. So your right lens, the right PD is 31. The computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap the minus button a few times till we get to 31. I do want to raise the optical center height up to 24. So that is good. That blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. If you were to measure vertically and horizontally, that is the center. Your eye is going to be just above that and inset just a little bit. So let's go down here. We're going to take your lenses down to my Marco 101 lensometer. Don't believe me? There it is, the Marco. And that is the bulb that goes in it. In case it ever burns out, I know what to order. This is unique. You are -1 in each eye. Now, I don't take your lenses out of a paper packet. These were custom made because it has transitions and Crizal Prevencia. I cannot order a stock lens, meaning it takes it out of a paper packet, in transition green with Prevencia, so I had to have these custom made. So no paper packets to write on today, but you are the same, so I'm going to put it on -1, and this could be either the right or the left. I will know when I find the optical center. And actually that is lower, so let me rotate that. This is a good challenge. This is the right lens because it is inset that way and up. So let's go ahead and put, really just for fun, I only need to put one dot on there. I'm putting my thumb on the ink pads. Can you see that? The little things that go forward. I'm just going to put my thumb on the middle one to see if I can make one dot, and there it is. Let me go ahead and darken that for you at home. That is one dot, and that is the right lens. So let's do the same thing now for the left. Put that in. The reason why I know it's the right, it's going to be inset. I'm going to rotate it this way, and your eye is just inset from there. Remember that? Remember that? So that is how I know it's the right lens. Now for the left, we're going to put it in. We're going to rotate it until we get to about the same height on that side. And so, where am I getting? I'm getting the center of this one now, the way that one's done. Hang on, let me rotate the lens a little more. This one's tricky. There we go. There we go. We're now getting to that side. Again, let's see if I can put the one dot on there. I'm going to darken that. Put an L on here for left. And if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, you know you got to get that, at least one bad joke in every video. So I'm going to place the lens onto the platform. Now this is a block, or as I like to call him, Jenny from the block. I like to make Monty Python horse sounds with them. But I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need to use a double-sided adhesive sticker. of which I've got 2 left. Ignore all those. These are my last 2. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick the first one on here, place that on the platform, do the same thing on this one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. And on the back is a little silver button that is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to attach itself to something magnetical here in the arm. We're going to place that in there. And I'm going to line up the optical center right there. That dot, your PD, the OC, is going to be right there. I'm going to check to make sure the lens is large enough. Yes, it is. You can see if I were to move it around. Oops, nope, that's not the button. Magnify, that's it. And we're going to put that dot right there in the center. And check some things. Hit this button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Drop that on the counter. Let's quit being sticky. Line up the magnet there. And now I've got to check, okay, so your pupillary distance for your left eye is 31. It automatically mirrors the right side. The optical center height is the same, so I don't have to alter anything there. Just have to line up that dot, and we're going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what does all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out buy their own. Then you can cut your own at home on your kitchen counter. You won't need this guy with 2 thumbs to do it for you anymore. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center is going to put the bevel, the V-shaped bevel. This is going to make it flat all the way around. This is going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and put the right lens into the chuck, or as you know, I like to call it the Charles, because I just don't know the machine well enough to call it Chuck. Okay, we're going to wake up the computer, transfer the data from the blocker to over here. That is the lens that we'll be cutting. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay with polycarb. I'm not going to polish the edges. I'm not going to put a bevel on the front surface of the lens, the convex surface. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. I'm going to hit the green arrow. Actually, you know what? Let me take it down 1/10 of a millimeter. I may have to take it down more. The 2140 has a deep bevel, so I'm going to try and save myself a little time. Hit the start button. The clamp shuts. The door closes, and the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of lens exposed. But of course, with your prescription in this frame, you won't. But I do cut very strong prescription lenses all day long, and that does become more critical. Now, I apologize for the dirty door. I'm having another one sent. The water you see in the background, that light flickering, is water. It's there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the cutting wheel. And if you've noticed, it was on the right. It has moved over to the center. I don't know why the wheel does that, but that's how this machine is built, to move back and forth. The water is there to catch the optical sawdust as you see beginning to form around the edge of the lens. Water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle to wash away that debris. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet, meaning water sprays on them the whole time. Your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So this is permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. So the lens is now the check and balance system. It's double checking again to make sure where to place the bevel. And if you can notice, if the door was cleaner, your lens is completely flat now. Now it's getting the bevel placed in there, the V-shaped bevel. Now I'll demonstrate the transition later, but you got Crizal Prevencia. Here's the lens without any anti-glare. Crizal is 3 features in one. Prevencia is a 4th one, but it eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights and such. It's also a reflective free lens, so when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your lens. It's for much better eye contact. Plus, Crizal puts the hardest scratch coating in the business onto the lens, because the machine that applies it costs well over $1 million and takes over 24 hours to vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the hardest scratch coating to protect your time and expense and investment. Now, Crizal Prevencia, with the purplish hue, P for Prevencia, P for purple. It does that because it's in the ultraviolet spectrum to block today's harmful blue light, or emitted from today's electronic devices such as cell phones, tablets, computer screens. It is currently, as we speak, the only anti-glare on the market that blocks out any portion of the harmful blue light. So I'm going to dry the lens off. Just going to make sure there's no optical sawdust on there. Run my thumbnail around the edge. And I'm going to go ahead and see if it fits into the frame, or if I have to take it down a little bit more. I tuck it in at the outside edge and make sure the camera's in view. Tuck it in at the outside edge and use my thumbs. I press down at the edges and it snaps right in. So let's go ahead and do the left lens. We're going to flip that over to L, and don't hit start yet. Let's go ahead and put the left lens into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, and then hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by the 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around measuring the left lens, and then just like before, measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. And of course, J, in this frame with your prescription, it would have to be a lot stronger for you to have any edge thickness. But I still put a safety bevel on the rear surface, so because if anyone's lens does come towards the back and rests on your cheek, I want it to be nice and smooth. So let's go ahead and take this block off, and we're going to come down here, and this will take no time at all to check your prescription, because you are completely spherical. You have no sill. Sill is the astigmatism, of which you have none. So I'm going to put it in. I don't even have to turn the knob because we're still at 1. How about that? Now, the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0, which we in the business call plano, and goes up in quarter increments from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. So you need 4 steps of far-sighted correction. You are nearsighted. There's a minus sign there because when you take your glasses off, everything is much too large. This flashlight would be larger than it really appears. Your lenses minify, although that word is not in the dictionary, but it's the opposite of magnify. That is why there's a minus sign. Your lenses minify down to the correct size. So literally, you were born with +1, well, your eyes are like a +1 reading glasses. So up close, you can see, you can still see your fingerprint, which is amazing, because I'm farsighted. The closer it is, I can't see nothing. I take my glasses off and I couldn't even see the grooves of this, where you could see every detail and how this the grip is cut. So the other unique thing, you are the same in both eyes. That is extremely rare. You are a marvel of modern science. Now, if only your eyes were 20/20, now you will be 20/20 with these lenses on, and you can still probably see fingertip away. If you're at the computer, you probably can see without your glasses on, but you put your glasses on to see anything beyond that, and it gets much better. There's no way you could go to the movies or drive with any enjoyment, with any safety or security, without your glasses on. So this frame costs $150, the original Wayfarer, the RayBan 2140, size 50, color 901, which is the classic shiny black, which is this one. And the frame costs $150. The transition, no charge for your lenses. The transitions green adds $54.99. Crizal Prevencia adds $119.99 for a total of $324.98. So let's go ahead and remove the left lens. Hit that button. Take it out of the chuck. Dry the lens off. Make sure there's no optical sawdust there. And let's go ahead and check to see if the left lens fits. I'm going to tuck it in with the outside corner of the frame first, and using my thumbs, I press down at the nose, and it snaps in. So let's go ahead and take this block off. And your pupillary distance, the PD and OC is barely showing, so I'm going to put a dot there to strengthen that. We're going to put that into that red dot right in front of the viewfinder of my lensometer. Why am I moving it? Because we're still on 1. So that is cut perfectly. I couldn't have done it any better myself. Now your pupillary distance is 31 and 31 is 62. We'll take that out, turn the card around, take the PD stick out of my pocket and place it against my thumb on your right lens. And then we hold it up on the left lens. We're getting 62 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. I want to check the optical center height of 24. And when you get to the middle of the frame, of the bottom of the frame, we're getting 24, so that is cut perfectly. Wow, I did a good job on this. I should do this for a living. So this is the point that in every video that as I clean your lens, I mention that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US and its territories, military bases included, but when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, let me use this cleaner. I need to do some more squirting. But there's a small chance these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just stop by your local place and tell them if it's too loose or too tight or crooked. They'll know what to do. It only takes about a minute to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly. But I'm going to go ahead and get them in standard alignment first. Also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press on the counter, they wobble, but they sit level on me. Now here's a good teaching moment. In my left hand, your black RayBan 2140 original Wayfarer made in 1952. In my hand, the new Wayfarer, model number 2132, made in 1992. Now yours is a 50 eye size, which is 50 from the corner of this lens to the corner of that lens. Mine is a 52. It has a higher number, but it looks smaller. Now you have a wider bridge than I do. This is closer in. But that is the difference, original and new. Now one thing you will notice, yours has the original tilt, the panoscopic tilt. Mine lenses sit more straight up. These come back towards your cheek a little more. If I were to set these down, you can see that demonstrated a little bit more. Mine are a little bit more vertical. So, and yours a little bit more deeper. Yours is bigger than mine, but I am getting counseling. I'm working on that. I think within a few more years I'll be able to resolve things. But Jay, right now you got that going for you. So this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead. Oh wait, I got to flip them over. I'm getting ahead of myself. Flip them over, no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Check the tension on each hinge, and that is perfect. Of course, you want to see a unique hinge. Look at that triple barrel hinge. You could almost drive over this thing with a tank. This is how they made frames in 1952, and RayBan has never changed. When Luxottica, the parent company of RayBan, bought these from Bausch & Lomb when these were being made in Rochester and moved literally put all the manufacturing equipment onto a ship and took it over to Italy and are making them the same way on the same equipment to this day. But that's what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them to turn them green. So I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of UV light. Now, as you can see, all transition lenses get dark on day one. It takes about 30 to 45 seconds for them to turn dark, a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now this is important. All transition lenses will get dark on day one and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks they're exposed to the sun. They're also, after that, they will work for years at maximum performance after a couple weeks. Now, they're temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. So this being August, I remind everybody, I'm not sure where you are in California, but if it's hot right now, they're just not get as dark as they will until it cools off. They'll be darker in the mornings and the evenings than they will in the hottest part of the day. Plus, the only time they won't work is when you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun all day and your upholstery doesn't rot. That's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken, just not behind the windshield. So this is the first time they have been activated. That is, the transition's green. Don't worry, they're going to keep getting darker. Come on, Jay, we talked about that, don't you remember? So this is the original RayBan G15 lens. Pretty close, huh? Pretty good for the transitions graphite green lens with Crizal Prevencia. Can you see that reflection on there? The purple Both lenses block 100% of the UVA and UVB rays. The Crizal Prevencia blocks the harmful blue light emitted from today's electronic devices. So, which, studies have shown can cause ADD in kids, and also mess up your sleep patterns, things like that. But also, the most important thing, in my opinion, the health benefits of it, is it's known to offset later stages of macular degeneration, of which there is no cure for at this day. So, one good thing about that, so, a lot of the scientists, people are arguing about the benefits or harmfulness of blue light, but if it can prevent macular degeneration, throw all those arguments out of the window. So you can see as this lightning now, the sunglass lens is darker as these lighten as I keep running my mouth. So that's it. If anyone has any questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or click the contact me button on the website. So Jay in Milpitas, California, hope you enjoyed watching as I cut Transitions green lenses with Crizal Prevencia for your RayBan 2140 color 901. It's a classic shiny black in the 50 eye size, 22 bridge. And hopefully everyone else has got a chance to see how See More Better made this Mo Better. Now that's... I lost my tagline. Sorry, I was concentrating on something else. And yeah, well, okay. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll follow up on my next video. I'll land on my feet. I missed this dismount, but no, that's it. It's right there. That's how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. It feels great to being a rookie every once in a while. You got to put up an air ball to show everyone how good you really are. So that's it. Glad you watched, and let me know if I can be any more help. Thank you.